hello. It's been a while again. Yeah, I hope you guys aren't like too annoyed by what is essentially now just weekly, like once a week, streams. I really hope you guys don't mind that. Am I coming through okay? Not having any audio issues. It actually might be a little bit low, so let me fix that. Alright, that should be a bit better. Yeah, that's a little loud. There we go. So, yeah, it's been a while. I'm gonna be going on break, like the day after this stream, but I wanted to do one just because I'll be away for basically a whole week otherwise. Um, a lot has definitely happened. A lot has happened, and I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Both in my personal life and in regards to like making progress, um, socially and with my model. So, no major complaints as of right now. Lego Star Wars. Let's go. Yes. Yes. Oh gosh, that reminds me. I'm gonna make a new redeem exclusively for this stream. Give me a quick second. I'm going to regret this. I know I am. So this is gonna be terrible. Awful even. So as as you may or may not have already seen at the current moment, I have you want to make the streamer cry and say oh no redeem? Oh no. But so we have we have a new redeem, a new channel redeem. For 10 yeah. So hopefully, let me explain before I say it. Hopefully, and let me actually open up uh-oh. There we go. But let me turn off the music box as well, because now Lego Star Wars is going to be playing over it. So, right, we have we have the channel redeem, because, hopefully today, we're gonna be, you're gonna order the pizza? Okay. I don't know why I said okay, I can't eat it. I can't eat it. I'm not present in the room with you. But, so, the goal for today, hopefully, is to finish up episode 1, you know, obviously with the same level of chill vibes, but then go into episode 2, for which there is the wonderful, lovely copy pasta of, Anakin basically going on his rant, in, in Attack of the Clones, where he's like, and I'll say it here because we have the redeem. I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here everything is soft and smooth. It's so bad. But yeah, we're doing the Darth Maul fight. We're starting with that. I think one of my favorite things is there's an old. Oh gosh, we did it again. Yeah, I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here everything is soft and smooth. My greatest mistake is how cheap it is. You know what? Probably. I think probably one of my favorite memes for this episode of Star Wars is someone made an edit essentially where like it's Darth Maul, you know, like staring down the Jedi and stuff with no cooldown. That's honestly part of the experience if I'm being honest. So but so they made an edit of like Darth Maul staring down the Jedi, but then Captain Panaka just says a smooth tentacle flight. I mean, I won't deny that. But so he's like Captain Panaka basically just says gangsta and then just shoots him. Like just shoots Darth Maul and kills him. And I don't know why, but I love that clip so much. You could probably find it, but I have no clue what the name of the video is. Like I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I know it was definitely like a YTP though. You know what? Worst case scenario, it's more content. I assume this was for a purpose. Like, I assume we had to open those for a reason. But yeah, no, for those of you who are just audio listening, I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here everything is soft and smooth. But yeah, as you may have gathered, the channel redeem for me to say that wonderful line is only 10 points and is not on a cooldown, which means we're going to be having a lot of fun this stream, and I'm going to be singing the line quite a number of times. I am simultaneously extremely afraid and extremely excited for how this is going to go. Also, as you may have noticed on my Twitter, I did post the model, like the chest for the model, and at a good friend's recommendation, we are going to, or I'm going to try over the break to attempt like different, like more detailed shading, I guess, and just see how I like that. And if I end up liking it, that might just stick with the like end result. So this is something that I wanted to point out because I think I might have pointed it out the last time we played this game, but I again can't be sure. Um, this game released on consoles, right? But then it also released on like the DS, like the Nintendo DS. And the DS version of this game had a lot of notable differences, a majority of which I just don't think were as good. But there's a small handful, a very small handful, that I did actually kind of like. For starters, I really like a lot of the mini games. I know some people get frustrated by them, and like, yeah, it's touchpad controls. I can definitely understand that. Gonna have fun with this redeem. I honestly hope you do, Spike. That is ultimately the goal here, is to have fun. Wait, no, hold on. I almost messed up. I almost messed up really bad. But so, like, aside from the mini games, like, the DS version, I think generally was just, like, a kind of, for lack of a better term, neutered version, because obviously it was on the, like, oh gosh. This is the reasons why streamers add cooldowns and raise prices. Yeah, but you know. I have the option to do that, but I'm not going to. You know why? Because I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here everything is soft and smooth. This is the thing. I love this. This serves absolutely no purpose other than to just be a goofy little thing to ride around on, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah. Only stormtroopers, those don't exist yet. Soft and smooth. Yeah, there was a little bit of a sneak peek in that because I did post the chest on Twitter. But like a number of the fights were a lot like simpler, like certain segments were cut out from the DS version. Certain levels were cut out, and like one of the things that bothered me a lot was there was no free play in the vehicle levels. So um like it made it technically easier where it's like, okay, you can get like all of the mini kits in one playthrough, like one run. But to Twitter for the chest. Yes. Yes. Good. But what was it? Uh like there was no vehicle free play. So it was like, "Oh, okay, like for the pod racing or the gunship stuff, aside from like I think like one exception, which is like, oh, like torpedoes at a certain part which you can unlock as a power up. Is that a heart belly button? Yes, it is. I'm very happy that people like it. Wait, I have to try. Chat, I need to try. I have to finesse my way in there. It will not let me. What don't you like? What don't you like, Spike? uh, me personally, I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. The best part is the the redeems don't show up like on the physical like VOD, so it's just gonna look like I'm just like giggling into the void. Which honestly, is that or is that not what we're all here for? But yeah, I don't like sand. It's coarse. You love to live in the void. I mean, it is very nice here, if I'm being honest. I've been on like the weirdest Power Rangers kick recently for no reason, and I don't understand why. Like there was no like impetus for this. I think I just like I was like, oh, I need some background music while I like work on this model or something. Void is comfy. Void is very comfy. It's a little chilly sometimes, but you know that's part of the experience. Um, but yeah, no, I just like I think I listened to it as like background music for oh, it's like background music for when I was working on my model. And oh gosh. It's the Roger Roger moment. Chili void means blanking cut is. It does! But yeah, I guess I was just like listening to the theme songs or something as like background noise while I was working on my new model. Cause like now my YouTube recommended has just been filled with a bunch of like Power Rangers related stuff. And I'm just eating that up, honestly. And before anybody asks, my favorite Power Rangers theme is the Jungle Fury theme because I love it. I am very bad at timing jumps. Oh my gosh, there's so many of them. Can you get out of here? Jungle Fury, yeah, it really is. I pointed this out to a friend, actually. The Mystic Force theme sounds like Toxic. Like, I'm sure somebody's made a mix of that, honestly. And it's always funny to think about the, like, oh, this thing sounds like Power Rangers, or Power Rangers sounds like this. Like, one of the things I remember being pointed out was Wolverine in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. His theme song sounded a lot like, what? What is the depth perception for this jump? What? Why can't I do my mid-air jump? Hold on. Very much classic Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme song. Yeah, it has some power chords. It really does. I like I know for the recent seasons they did a lot of remixes. Um, and like specifically like the Samurai theme is very clearly a remix of the classic theme. Like it's not even trying to hide it, which, you know, go off. But oh my gosh, really? I'm gonna lose my marbles right now with these jumps. But, like, the Samurai one is okay. Like, the Samurai remix is fine. I really like the, Dino Charge remix, if I'm being honest. And then, of course, there's the one, there's the Masaki Endo remix of it, or the cover. Power Rangers Samurai is a remix of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in general. To the point that Bulk and Skull's nephew was there. That's right, it was. That was so. Here's the thing. That one was really weird because, like, for a while, that was like the first one that was like the first season that I'd watched in a while. Just because I like kind of dropped off for a bit, and then like I watched that one, and then I realized that RPM was my favorite, which was right before it. But ooh. But so one thing that I noticed is that Power Rangers Samurai, like a lot of the plot beats um are very similar to that not like the like I don't know how to describe it. It's got a lot of similarities to the like original show Samurai Sentai Shinkenger, which like I guess like makes sense to an extent, but it's like there was like a lot more similar. Like they kept the whole like head of the Shiba clan thing, for example. Um, the whole Shiba clan thing in general was like just there, which, you know, I don't mind it. It feels a little derivative. RPM is a really good one. RPM is a great season. My favorite character is Flynn. Don't tell me I'm just short of True Jedi. I'm gonna cry. Oh, I'm like just short. I'm actually gonna cry. Oh, this is upsetting. This upsetties my spaghetti. But yeah, like there was the whole thing where it's like, oh, like your sister is the other Red Ranger, because something something Shiva clan, uh, da 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 da, etc. I have no clue how to describe it otherwise. Oh, I see. Well, I got True Jedi, just short of True Jedi from dying. Spike, you're so mean. No. You wanted cry? You wanted cry? No, don't say that. Spike just wants to see me sad. This is this is so sad. I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here everything is soft and smooth. But in your demonic nature, fair enough, honestly. Oh, thank you. I like how he's just pacing around, like, waiting for us to attack him. What if I just didn't? What if I just spend the entire fight running away? I don't feel like it. No thank you, sir. Excuse me? No, 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 no. Please, 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 please. No, no, no. I'm playing as Willie. I'm playing as Liam Nees. Oh my gosh. Stop. No, this would be so much easier in two-player. It's okay, I can't lose True Jedi. Spike is bullying me. Wait, what is he doing? He's just stopped. This is fine. This is no longer fine. What happened? Why can't I get up there? Oh, we gotta hydrate redeem. Hold on. I just realized there was a hydrate redeem. I'm so sorry. Plug in a controller and play with your tentacle. Yeah, here's the problem though. I don't have a second controller. That's the prime and only issue. Help. Help. He won't stop hitting me. No. Are you done? What? 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 Why is he throwing bikes at me? Multitasking smart death. Fear and pain. I'm doing this the way that was not intended. Oh, it's okay. He fixed it. Okay. Um... Can you not? Why do I need a specific angle to use the force on this? Because he knows bad with bike. Listen! Listen! There's no need for this. Please, please. I know this probably isn't the way to do it, but please. Okay, I've done it. I have done it. I've... No. I've gotten the mini kit. I don't like sand. It's Carson. Where is he? What? Where did he go? Oh, he's over here. I just didn't hit him. I just didn't hit him. No! No! I have to do this again now. I'm not Death who can bug characters out of a game. Listen, you don't know. You don't know. You don't know. I don't understand why he did that. Was it like to flex? His legs in the background. All right. Well, we're gonna come back to that level in free play eventually. Eventually. Well, that was weird. Oh, right, because I tried to show off the thing. Yes, everyone's favorite part of the movie. Oh boy, oh boy. I'm probably we're probably gonna, again, play through, like, at least through episode 2. But if you guys want, to recommend a game, I'm also open to other suggestions. Favorite part of Star Wars movie? Well, my favorite part is when Anakin talks about, like, how, I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. What is this? Episode 1 bonus? Super story? I'm confused. What is this? Oh wait, is this just a speed run of the entire story? I kind of like that. They didn't have this in the DS version, so I don't know. Can't skip the cutscenes either. Oh, it's just all the cutscenes. Unless it isn't, and I'm just dumb. Yeah, I'm just dumb. Okay, we're speedrunning the story. Oh wait, we have to get enough coins in a certain time frame, I guess. Pizza's almost here. You're excited? We love to see it, honestly. I think we might get back and do these super stories when we get like the other extras, just because you just realized, oh, you glitched Gemini Man. You glitched Gemini Man out of Mega Man 3. Soft locked, soft locked in Mega Man. Oh no. Somehow despawned Vault at the same time, so you couldn't finish the fight. Oh no. What is this? Two-player arcade. Yep. Look at these backflips. Look at these. Look at these Alexa Vega backflips. I wonder what we can get. I don't think we can get anything right now. I don't think we have enough stuff to unlock that. So, you clipped it? Oh gosh. All right, we're starting with episode 2 then. Or rather, we're going to episode 2. You know what I mean. Bounty Hunter Pursuit. Oh, this is another episode that I'm pretty sure. This is another thing that was cut out of the DS version, and I actually really like this. There he is. It's Mr. Sandman. Oh, that is vile. The frame rate dropped when he killed them. Most constant record of despawning or not having something spawn. So you get soft lock. Oh. I could chase after the villain. I could do that. But money. It's the game's fault. Yeah, honestly, that's the true streamer motto. It's the game's fault, not mine. If it only happens for death, then the game has some personal issues with death that it needs to resolve. Because honestly, we're not about that life here. We're not about that angry life. We are about being able to turn though. That would be nice. Did every puzzle game you get soft lock at least once, do something despawning or not spawning? You know what we about? We about how we don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here everything is soft and smooth. So, do you want to know a fun, embarrassing fact? When I first saw the word weeaboo, like the actual term used for like you know, those people. Um, I I thought it was pronounced Weeaboo, and I don't know why. I think it was the O's. I think it was specifically the O's. I think that's what threw me off. Can at least see how I got that conclusion. Fair enough. Yeah, because I had never at that point heard that word used. I mean, I guess like, you know, there's always at least one. It's always going to be like the first time at least one time. At least one time? Is there a possible way to have multiple? I don't know what I'm saying, honestly. I think I'm kind of just talking out my butt here. Why can't I? Okay, there we go. This game deals with height and depth in weird ways. Pizza's Hero, you're happy? We love to see it. We absolutely adore to see it. Gosh, I love when video games have controls. You know what we should play on the channel at some point? Philly steak and bacon. Ooh. I'll definitely try that. That sounds really good. Did you know that Hawaiian pizza actually has nothing to do with Hawaii and it was based on a brand of pineapples that were used for the pizza? Oh boy. So what's everyone's like general opinion on episode 2? Did not know that? Oh. Is it time for funny facts hour? Like the fact that most people apparently didn't realize that Gligar is supposed to be a gargoyle? But we should totally play I should totally do a Star Wars Battlefront, like the old like 2005 one, like that playthrough. Fun fact? Fun fact. I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here, everything's soft and smooth. If somebody is getting annoyed by this, like, I'm so sorry. I will increase the price if it's bothering people who are listening to the stream just as, like, background noise. Opinion on episode 2. The rest of the... Oh, fair enough. I like funny laser sword. And I like Ewan McGregor. That's the extent of my That's the extent of my major opinion on Star Wars, shall I say. I like funny sword. I like cool choreography. I like Ewan McGregor. Lego Star Wars games, however, that's its own. That's its own. That's honestly its own category. If I'm being like completely serious, I'm also where I'm spending way too long like collecting all the coins. Um, I will not amend this behavior. I refuse to. Okay, so listen. We can talk about this. The Lego Alta movies are very different. Yep. Episode 1, 2, and 3, alright. Episode 4, 5, 6, pretty good. Episode 7, 8, 9, I fall asleep. So here's the thing. I've kind of come around on episode 7. In that it's essentially just episode 4. But, like, new. And, like, some of the novelty, you can argue, has been lost. But, like, I think at least episode 7 brings its own charms to the table. Not necessarily saying that I like everything that happened in it, but like it's got its it has its purpose to exist. Episode 1, like literally all of episode 1 is for me is it's Darth Maul and pod racing. Yeah, fair enough. I like how they called the base in episode 7 the Starkiller base, but they refused to mention the actual guy. Because he's too strong. Oh, you can blow those up. Okay, that definitely it means we're backtracking somewhat. The camera is giving me a bit of a headache. Not gonna lie. Tell him the truth here. Keeping it 100 with you guys. We gotta backtrack. We gotta backtrack. Can't be making rookie mistakes. We can't use TIE fighters yet, so we can't open that door yet. So I got an ad on like the radio earlier, and I've just realized something. Idris Elba's really cute. Like a lot of people say that he's really hot, and like I can see it, but I just think he's really cute. It's the booking.com ads where he's talking about like, "Oh, I have a teddy bear for like stormy nights." And it's like that's adorable. He's so awkward. I love him. And I'm fully aware that that's like the script most likely, and that's like part of the whole the scheme. But like I just like it. One thing I never like, I don't necessarily agree or disagree with it. One thing I never understood was the decision to make Yoda like still a puppet in the first episode, but then they made him CGI, or rather, like episode one, not necessarily the first episode, but in episode one they made Yoda a puppet, but then they made him CGI in episode two and three, and then they went back and like redid like all of his scenes in episode one so that he was CGI instead. And like I guess that's probably like more efficient, like because then you don't have to worry about like maintaining the puppet and everything. But like, I don't know. I think the fact that it wasn't consistent kind of bugged me. You know? Again, maybe I'm just speaking nonsense. And again, I'm wasting a lot of time with this, and I apologize, but I like getting True Jedi on the because I think you have to get True Jedi on the story mode and the free play. And if you don't, well, oh well, I'm getting it out of the way now. You enjoying vibes? I'm really glad that you're enjoying vibes, honestly. Like Lego Star Wars for some reason. The last time we played this, we had like a like ASMR radio vibe session where like instead of the Star Wars music, and speaking of the music's still off right now, but oh no, that means we missed Duel of Fates. I just realized. Oh, I'm a fake fan. Oh no. Um, but we basically just had like more of the you know what you don't enjoy. Yeah, I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here everything is soft and smooth. Yes, we got the things, or a thing. There's no cooldown. That is correct. There is no cooldown on it. So I genuinely apologize to everybody who's audio listening and hates that line. You've been a good boy. Yes, you have, Spike. You've been a very good boy. There we go. That can't be all there is there? Sniping at the exact moment the cooldown was down. No, Spike's just being nice to everybody else. Oh, we should play Star Fox sometime. Star Fox would be a fun game to try. Oh gosh, it's this part. Oh no. Oh no. This is problematic. Let me pick it up. There we go. There we don't go. Yeah. Would you guys actually like me to turn the like Star Wars music back on, or do you want to just turn this into like a full like cozy vibe session with like the music box again? I'm fine either way. I just want to know. There we go. You're vibing with pizza? We love to see it. Some Fortnite, because Funny Dance go burr. Funny Dance do go burr. Unfortunately, what also go burr is my studs when I hit thing. It's okay, though, we have True Jedi. All right, I don't have to go blowing everything up now because I got True Jedi already. I just need to look for the specifics. This is not one of the specifics. No, stay on. All right, you know what? You. No more of that. Ow? Please. Please. I got a red brick. Oh, I don't know what it is, but I'm excited for it. Oh boy. Tentacles go burr when hurt. Want to know what really goes for? What really goes first, Spike? What happened to be my dislike of sand? Yeah, because I don't really like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating. And it gets everywhere, you know? Not like here. Here everything is soft and smooth. Now you may be wondering, how many times can you say that? Don't worry about it. That's what I gotta say to you. Don't worry about it. I think that might be all the turrets in this area, so we're just gonna go through. And if this is the end of the level, then I cry. I just like how I cry when I don't like sand. Because it's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here everything's soft and smooth. Oh, there's the turret. Alright, nice. And then here's the end of the level. Oh, never mind. It's just more of this. I didn't think he heard you one more time. Yeah, no, I don't like sand. It's coarse, rough, irritating, gets everywhere. I like here. Here everything is soft. And smooth. We're going absolutely ham. Lego do be smooth. It really do. But not soft? I mean, it's a matter of perspective, if you ask me. Legos are the softest when you step on them. Legos are soft when you start to melt them? Fair enough. Honestly, a lot of things are technically soft when you start to melt them. Guys, as you can see, these Lego games are completely inaccurate to the movie. Because in the movie, when Anakin runs into this electric field thing, he just kind of flies right through it and suffers the consequences. That's why we should melt more things. Yes, I do agree. As you can see, I'm flying circles. Here's the thing. Is there technically such a thing as too much heat? I mean, like, really. If you had as much energy as you could want, and, like, you know, you had a space that could contain it, and matter that would, like, have the heat applied to it, would there be a certain temperature where that matter is just, like, destroyed? Not like, obviously you can't really destroy it, but, like, would there be a point where the amount of, like, thermal energy renders it just completely and utterly ineffective? Stud magnet. That's gonna make it a lot easier. So let's go get that. And while we're here, we're also gonna turn on vibe mode. So okay, 1 sec. So many sand redeems. Here we go. So yeah. We're gonna get the extras, the stud magnet extra, because it's very helpful. We're also gonna get Darth Maul because he's cool. Should we get, like, the most efficient characters first, do you think? Or should we just develop our collection as fast as possible? I think it'd probably be good to be efficient just so we can, like, get more extras to be more efficient. Darth Maul is indeed cool with his double and listen, Deathling, come on. Deathwing, you can't say those things, or say so. We were all thinking it. I I will not confirm or deny, but I will say I love the hyperspace rings for the Jedi Starfighters. I think those are really cool. And what I love is there's a deleted scene for episode 2 where it shows that for whatever reason there's like just a whole ring like of the Jedi Starfighter rings just waiting around Coruscant for like the Jedi to roll up and be like, okay, it's time to do work. Okay, can't reach that. This is another like set piece that I actually really liked, and I can't begin to explain why. I think it's the rain. It's probably the rain. Hi, Miyako! We're playing Lego Star Wars and we got some chill vibes going on. Oh, almost missed that. But yeah, no, this is making collecting them a lot easier already. There we go. Cozy vibes, yes. We got the music box by, I believe it's R3 Music. Go check them out on YouTube. I like he's just like, oh hi, I've just got your people's weapon here. What if I went in the exact opposite direction? Make you want to fall asleep? That is the vibe we're going for. We're going for chill, sleepy vibe. And maybe it'll turn into bad karaoke. Yeah, maybe we'll do a dedicated bad karaoke stream. There we go. The windows render a little singing stream. Yeah. I think that would definitely probably be its own dedicated stream, though, is the thing. I don't know, maybe if I'm feeling up to it. Maybe we'll do some singing later this stream. For a lot of these, like, the music box plays the song, like, slightly slower than it actually is, just for the, like, true music box effect. And so it, like, takes me a second to realize which song is playing. Oh. They just playing the Star Wars music over it for this one scene. You don't end up falling asleep. Well, you know what? Sleep is always good. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I say as I'm probably way behind on my own sleep. Only bounty hunters can access these areas. Ooh. Do you think it's... This is, like, not necessarily philosophical, more so just, like, I guess, like, if anything, a psychological question. Do you think, you're more likely to fall asleep to music that you recognize or music that you don't recognize? Sleep is amazing. It really is. Because I was thinking about this, where it's like, I like certain songs, I know the song, so I get hyped for it. But like other songs, it's like, oh, this is exclusively new information that I'm taking in with my brain. So how do we like my brain's more actively focused on it and therefore more awake, you know? Whereas with certain songs, you can make the argument where it's like, you know, the get some rest after this or chat be mad. Okay, fine, I'll get some rest after this. But, like, some songs, it's like, oh yeah, you know it, so you're, like, hyped because you're like, oh, I know this song. But on the other hand, it can be like, okay, like, I've heard this song a lot, my brain's kind of, like, getting, like, lulled to sleep because of the familiarity, you know? And I'm trying to think of, like, which one's the, like, good... Saw chest tummy reveal on Twitter. Does that mean we get a shirtless redeem? We, honestly, we might. But here's the problem. I don't do pants. Because, you know, tentacles. Which means the shirtless redeem would really just be, you know... Twitch mod doesn't have to know. I mean, this is true. It's fine, we'll just call it a hot tub stream. I like the little details like this. Like, this is really cute. Look at that. This is just a secret between me and chat. Nakey Jakey stream. I forget, have I mentioned what like this stream consists of, or what this like playlist typically consists of? Because it is primarily, at least, you got a little Jango Fit backpack in there. Nice. Nice. Nice work, guy. It is primarily game music, but it's also some tokusatsu songs, which is, in my case, primarily Kamen Rider. So if anybody is a fan of, well, like, games, obviously, but also Kamen Rider, that may be where you're recognizing some of this music from. All the tentacles chilling in the hot tub, like... What? Oh, the hot tub out in... But yeah, fair enough. I might, make, like, a specific hot tub sprite. I think that would be kind of cute. Where it's like you have the model, right? And then you've got the, like, the specific thing for the hot tub. But then on top of that, you have, ooh. You have the, like, little ones hanging over the edge. The boiled squid hot pot post hot... No! Don't eat me! It's not nice! Yeah, this part I remember. This part, for some reason, like, I don't know why it reminds me... I'm upset. But, well, the tentacles grow back down. They do, but it still hurts! I don't like people biting them off. You can nibble lightly. You can taste. But no biting. No biting, no separating from my body. Alright, come on. Let's go. Huh! Are they starfish now? I plead the fifth. Of course the magenta sword is the strongest. Have you seen it? It's magenta. Look at it. It's a magenta sword. What more could you want? It's the strongest because it's magenta. The strongest color. Oh no, we're not the strongest anymore. There we go. Are you salty? Saltwater. Listen. You don't need to call me out like this, okay? This is Class A bullying. Purple is the best color. Purple is a solid color. But magenta, though. It's CMYK, not CPYK. Come here. This is where we fight Sundowner, right? Okay, get ready for the best blaster sound effect in all of Star Wars. You don't understand. The Jango Fett has the best blaster sound in all of Star Wars. Shoot him. Shoot him. Yeah, there it is. We beating him up. As you can see, I am a master of deflection. I'm practically sliding around while I deflect these lasers. You may be wondering, when does this stop? Good question. Because I'm apparently getting him with some of these. Top 10 things that shouldn't be working but are anyway. Super Mario do go burr. Come here. Come here. Come here. I actually did it! So normally what you're supposed to do is those 4 turrets on the side, you're supposed to have R4 activate them to stop the ship from shooting at you so you can deal with Django yourself. But you can just reflect them. So I ask you, why fight easy when you can fight dumb? Yeah, no. I did it because I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating. And it gets everywhere, honestly. Not like here. Here everything's soft and smooth. Speaking of soft and smooth, I believe we're going to be playing as him now. Or the cracked, not the wonder. I am, as chat has insisted, I am good at reaction stuff. I am not good at brain stuff. Pop quiz. What's this from? Which game is this from? There he is, Mr. I don't like sand. I like the idea that, like, in the Lego universe, they just happen to be passing by. Whereas in Star Wars, they're, like, on Tatooine, and they have this whole argument about, like, should we go, shouldn't we go? But then in this one, it's just like, oh, we're right here anyway. Play brain games like the DS games. Oh gosh, you want me to play? You want me to play Kawashima's Brain Training? No, I'm gonna be terrible. Also, I don't really have a setup to play it, is the other thing. Like, I don't know how I'd be able to play that on stream. I guess I could probably set up an emulator, but... Wasn't there a new brain game released on Switch recently? I don't know. Oh, it's another good blaster sound effect. It's the frigging... It's the garble. The green ones. I love the sound effect for those. Yes, there it is. I have no clue what the significance of the fact that they shoot green is. I just like it, honestly. It's different, and therefore it's cool. Nice. But I'll have to see if there is a new one on the Switch and it doesn't cost too much, I might get it for stream. And you get to look at my brain age. Oh, wait, I remember this. It, like, goes away, right? Yep. So we see Aura has a small wrinkle brain. No big brain until Brain Academy. Listen, okay, hold on. This is what? Why did that count? I guess it was just hot? What is the sound of Padme getting crushed? Hold on. Why is that the sound effect? Let me play as Anakin! Come here! Just looked it up. It's called Big Brain Academy. Don't think it's part of the same series, but it looks similar. What I think is actually really funny is in like Europe, in America it's called Brain Age. In Europe it's called Brain Training. So for Kid Icarus, they make a reference to Brain Age where like Dark Pit says like, oh, Hades, your math is off, you might want to break out the Brain Age. And it's funnier in the European version because he says you might want to break out the Brain Training, which just like, I don't know, that sounds like so much more of a like a condescending statement than the other one. I can't begin to explain why. Look at the underside just kills you if you touch it. I don't know why. I have no clue why. There's just a random tin can here. I will accept no other explanation as to what that is. That's a tin can. You cannot convince me otherwise. Convince me otherwise, parentheses, you cannot. I see you. Can you convince me to hate sand? You can absolutely convince me to hate sand, honestly. It's not that cool. It's coarse, and I don't like it. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here everything is soft and smooth. Oh, the buckets. Oh no, we got 2 redeems of it. Or rather, we got a second redeem of it. Can't read. Yeah, I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating. And it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here everything is soft and smooth. Oh no, there he goes. There he goes. So do I hate Sandy from SpongeBob? Poor degenerate demon mind every time I hear this soft and thick. Aw. Well, I mean, I'm not saying you're necessarily incorrect thinking that. It's obviously soft, but bonk. Bonk still. Oh, that's a nice animation. Hold on, I want to see that downhill again. Yeah, that's nice. Lewd. Yep. That's your mind, Spike. You're the one who said it. Ow. Where do the tentacles start? Well, if you ever do get to see the full body model, you'll kind of get an idea of where they start. Spike down bad. You should touch grass. Oh my god. Is it the waist? It's kind of hard to say. That's all I'm going to say. It's a bit difficult to determine. Do I have a butt? That's a good question. Hello, Saturday Clone. Hello, welcome to the channel. That's a wonderful line that you've entered and said hello on. Welcome to the channel. We're currently doing kind of chill vibes, playing Lego Star Wars. We're gonna hopefully try to get through the alternate ending to Star Wars. We're gonna hopefully try and get through at least episode 2 today. Drink? Oh, it is drinky. Tentacles start at the butt. Hopefully there is a butt right before the tentacles start. I mean, technically, even if that wasn't the case, I can still sit. Like, even if that wasn't the case. No, tentacles go for the mouth. No, they're asking, like, where on my body, like, oh. So, they're asking, like, where on my model my tentacles start. And we're trying to determine it, and, like, what the sort of, I guess, logistics of that is. Oh, no. Yeah, I do. Under the cloak. On this model, they're not fully animated, or really animated at all. You want butt to sit on something specific? Oh no, I'm afraid. I always have chair. Yep, always have chair. But yeah. So on this model, they're not fully animated because they're just kind of under the woodland creature like a dark pixie. So that's, first of all, thank you. That's actually, I feel like that's a compliment. Or an undead thing. I am an Eldritch patron, so you're not too far off. Well, I guess in all technical sense you are, kind of, but you know, credit, we give extra credit on this channel. But yeah, I'm an Eldritch patron. Fun fact, I also have actually written up a subclass where you can be my patron. So if you ever want to play a warlock, similar to what Yanners is, I guess that's a way of looking at it. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to explain in simple terms what I am, which is why I think I'm gonna save like the bigger. Yeah, Eldritch, we're pretty cool, honestly. Like Eldritch horrors, we're pretty lit. I think I'm gonna save the more detailed explanation for my debut, if anything. But yeah, for simplicity's sake, I like the idea that she had. I didn't necessarily get it from her, but I like that we're on the same wavelength, you know? The cloak, yes. The cloak is something that I very much enjoy. The new model, I think, by default, is not going to have the cloak, but I will be adding the cloak on as, like, a little extra. So don't worry. The cloak isn't going anywhere for super long. That's a couple years too early, Anakin. Oh no. Can't wait for the 30-hour explanation that bolts our brain and shatters our sanity during the debut. 30-hour debut. Yes, I'm setting the VTuber record for longest debut. Getting your model commissioned in the next couple weeks? Honestly. The Vaporeon hoodie. I have to make the Vaporeon hoodie, that's right. Month-long debut. It's just continuously running. I'll occasionally walk in, like... I'll occasionally walk in and be like, oh, hey guys. That's right, the debute's still happening. Yeah. What is actually the current record for... I'm going to ask that on Twitter later. I'm going to ask, like, what the current record is. Did you know that in terms of male, human, female Pokemon before... Listen. I know you don't like that, but... I know, Saida, I know you're not the biggest fan of that copy pasta, but honestly, I don't like sand. You know, it's coarse and rough and irritating. And it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here everything is soft and smooth. You know where Spike was going with that. But so... There we go. So, for context, I had a poll to see, like, because I thought I was doing, like, an Espeon hoodie, and then I was like, oh, do they want me to do Espeon, Sylveon, Glaceon, or Vaporeon? Vaporeon won handily. If you throw sand away, can we still be... It's gonna require a lot of head pats. Have I ever played with kinetic sand? Ooh. I think I did once, and I actually did kind of enjoy it. But if you throw sand in my eye, it's gonna take a lot of head pats. But I think I will be able to forgive you. I will. We'll still be friends as long as head pats are administered. You'll nurse me back to health. That's what we like to see. Oh no. Vaporeon hoodie did win very easily. It really did. Excuse me? You've killed the invincible character. I think R2 gets damaged like once in episode 1 and then never again like majorly throughout the entire franchise until episode 5. I get to play the new Lego Star Wars. I want to finish this one first before anything else. But I am looking forward to the new one. I'm hoping it has like the same vibe as this one. That's my general wish. Has all the games plus the new ones. Yeah. I actually really liked the Clone Wars, surprisingly. Like, I don't know, that like little aspect of like, oh, you get to be on the battlefield and call in troops and stuff. I thought that was really cool. I like that a lot. And then obviously it's the Clone Wars, so... Can I replicate R2's noises he makes? I cannot. There's no conceivable way that I can replicate those noises. It would be like the fastest paced whistling possible. R2 knew the whole time because his mind was never wiped. Yeah. R2 I think is the only currently living character in Star Wars that knows literally everything. Like, or not literally everything, but like the major events of all of the movies. What just happened? Disney still kept a lot of the comics canon, yeah, but they did the smart thing And they pretended that and they like have not acknowledged Starkiller yet because, boy oh boy, boy too strong. A lot of them are canon to the main story, but they're still canon. Yeah, no, Starkiller is a little nutty, a little bit of a goofy fella. They said with Starkiller is an alternate timeline, but still can't. So, I think you're thinking of like Darth Starkiller specifically, which is like when he becomes evil and does all the bad. I'm just talking about like the character in general. Like he's too like nutty. Oh boy, we got more. Oh, this is one of the boys. All right, let's keep it going. Honestly, I'd love for them to do a Vader movie showing everything he did between episodes 3 and 4. That's a lot. That's like 16, 17 years. That's a lot. You have to show the entirety of The Force Unleashed. You have to show, like, all of the terrible things he did. Wicked, but Darth Vader. I want a Darth Vader musical. I want a Darth Vader musical. That's what I want. That's my dream. I want to play Darth Vader in the... Oh, gosh. I want to play Darth Vader in the Darth Vader musical. Unfortunately, I'd be competing with James Earl Jones for this spot. You know, I think he might have a bit of more of a handle on the voice than I do, if I'm being honest. Just a little bit more of a handle. Vader was evil, but he was trying to bring back the dead. And he was willing to do whatever it took. Yeah. Fun fact about this game, by the way. Oh, gosh. Fun fact about this game. Darth Vader, cannot force choke Padme in this game. Padme had that good had him hooked. Oh my god. That is a way of describing it. That is a manner of expressing that. But yeah, that's probably the most cursed description of their relationship that I have ever heard. Oh my gosh. Watched a lot of videos, noticed Anakin mouths help me before screaming I hate you. That's really cute. That's... I say cute. Realistically, it should just be sad. There's just a generic Lego Jedi, like... He's just there. But, I know it's supposed to be sad, but, like, I don't know why. I think that's cute. The Jedi are evil, they just rip the kids away from their parents. Yeah. So, I think, yeah. I think there was something where it's like, oh, like they have the choice and most of the kids just say yes. not like fully aware of the ramifications of never being able to see your family again because they're children. And like there, you know, could be some kind of moral issue with that. Well, why am I saying could be? Of course there's a moral issue with that. Um yeah. Overall, the Jedi doing their thing, not that cool. Thing is, they don't take them as kids; they take them as babies. As far as those kids know, they have no parents. Well, to an extent, I would agree, but like, in the case of like Ahsoka, she's definitely like, she was definitely aware enough to have like vivid memories of her meeting with Plo Koon, for example. But then, like, again, she might just be like a specific, like, unique case, kind of like how Anakin was. But I don't know. I'm just pointing it out. Alright, I can't reach that one yet. Unfortunate. Jedi are pure order, no emotions, follow the rules. They will do whatever they have to believe in. Yep. I feel like Anakin wanted to get rid of the Jedi, but also destroy the Sith as well. Padme's death kind of messed up. Yeah, that's a fair. I'd say that's a fair analysis of that. I feel like not to like you know, go super deep into the like, oh, haha, Eldritch Patron Dungeons and Dragons. I feel like the easiest way to describe like a lot of people's issues with the Jedi is that they're like, their view is kind of like what people would call lawful stupid, where it's like they're like so intent like on exclusively being as morally good as possible that like they just start doing dumb things. It's like, yeah, you can justify it by like being like, yeah, it's the like right thing to do under a circumstance, but like, you know. And again, like there's probably a whole lot more like depth to the whole interaction in like the expanded lore, right? But you know, I'm dumb. I like seeing the things that say Roger Roger, and I like making them go kerblam. I'm not by any means trying to claim to be some sort of like expert or intellectual on Star Wars lore, because boy oh boy am I not. I respect the Sith that they murder. If they murder you, it's for their purpose or because they just really dislike you. Jedi knows if they feel your race is against the balance, they will genocide your race, and if you don't, even if you don't have the technology to fight. That is pretty bad, yeah. Not to mention the Sith weren't even inherently evil. Light side, using dark side had a disagreement. The Sith are basically slaughtered to the extinction of the rule of two. Yeah. I think it's also that, like, you can make the argument where it's like, the Sith arts aren't inherently evil. They just attract, like, all of the evil people. Because it's like, ooh, power, lightning hands. Etc. Wait! Come here. Come here. Come here. Palpatine was really great, though. He's made a baby with the Force. That's crazy. You're not wrong. Come here. Come here. Where are you going? Where are you running to? Sith is all about feeling emotion that's in using that emotion as power. Jedi just kind of wanted to void out the emotion and be lawful. Yeah, it's literally, it's the lawful versus chaotic. Alright. So, here's the thing. We have the two story missions left are Gunship Cavalry and Count Dooku. Gunship Cavalry is a vehicle level, which means I'm going to take way too long on it. Skywalker Bloodline is so strong because there is no normal blood to dilute Palpatine's power, so it was just his power plus pure raw force power. He made monsters. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he was quite the monster. He didn't like sand. It was coarse and rough and irritating. And it got everywhere. You know. Here, everything's soft and smooth. Yeah, so after this is Gunship Cavalry and then Count Dooku. I'm trying to mentally ask, does sand taste good? I cannot confirm or deny that, so I will trust your judgment on that. So, what I'm trying to consider right now is, should we do the Gunship Cavalry mission? Sand tastes like popcorn. Fair enough. But yeah, I'm trying to like mentally map out if we should do one more level. Gunship Cavalry. Why are you crying? No! Nasty, corny, grainy popcorn. Don't want sand anymore. Did you just like, were you excited about eating sand? And then you said that, and then you just stopped wanting to eat sand because you like grossed yourself out of it? Because if that's the case, honestly, just really big respect to you for that. That requires some unique aspect in a person that I don't know who possesses. But again, I just gotta respect it. He. I need to check something, because, initially I checked and it said that follow remotes were disabled, which is a bit of an issue. Because I want my followers to be able to use my emotes, because they're cool like that. But if Twitch is being mean, then I'm gonna be very sad. And I'm gonna cry. Why'd I do that? I'm not very smart. So I don't know why. Play RPGs blind? Oh gosh, I don't know which RPGs I would play though is the thing. Like, cause the one of the like the few RPGs that I have are ones that I already like really like. Like Tales of Vesperia is one that I absolutely love. I have that one. I have Fire Emblem obviously. Um but I have no clue what I would play. Alright, fair enough. I'm getting absolutely demolished. I thought there was a mini kit down there and I was gonna cry. Oh, there's just a red brick just chilling back there. Okay, fair enough. No! Yep. There we go. What? Still waiting for the Kirby RPG? That's... Wait, which one's that called? That sounds vaguely familiar. I can't tell if you're referring to like a fan game or something else. Oh, there's no Kirby RPG yet? Oh. These are very annoying. I didn't buy this Star Wars game to wait. There's a mini game in a Kirby game that acts like an RPG. You know what mini game I always like? I wouldn't say I disliked, but I never really understood. Is that like quick draw game? It was in I know it was in Nightmare and Dreamland, and I think it was in a couple others. But you're like facing off against like DDD or something, and you have to like quick draw against him. It's all reaction speed. Quick draw is fun, yeah. You know it's a fun game that I actually really like? is this, I forget what it's called, but it's this game where you point in a direction, and so you're facing the other person, right? And you point in a direction, and the other person has to look in any direction except for the one you're pointing. So if you point down, they can't look down. I don't know. I liked it a lot. I remember playing it. I keep hitting things. I'm so upset. Also, if anybody's curious, this sequence was completely different in the DS version. Mario Party minigame, the 1v3. Oh gosh, I'm afraid which one you're referring to. The fact that, like, off the top of my head, I'm just like, there are so many that qualify for that is nightmarish. In terms of Mario Party, which game would you say is that game for you? Like the one that you just despise playing? Like, obviously there's the usual stuff that people say where it's like, oh, the co-op games are annoying because, like, you know, it's just difficult to work with, like, people, like... Part of me wanted to say always, it's always difficult to work with people, but that's mean. But yeah, like, I find it, like, sometimes it's kind of hard to communicate what you mean to the other person. And, you know, that obviously makes the co-op games very difficult. Any one of them has that game? Oh. That's a violent explosion. Exploding blaster bolts. Nice. So, I have a question for you, chat. Actually... It's 2 hours. We've gotten through most of episode 2. But we got the Dooku fight. But we can do that in another stream. Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. I hope everyone has a wonderful week coming up. Minigame of 3v1 where one is running from the piranha plant is the easiest to win for their one. I'll bet it is. Oh, we're doing sand redeems. Alright. I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna do this one doubled. I'm gonna say each word Oh my gosh. Alright. I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating. Gets everywhere. Not like here, everything's soft and smooth. I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating. It gets everywhere. Not like here, everything gets soft. Everything is soft and smooth. I don't like sand. I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating. Not like here, everything is soft and smooth. I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating. Not like here, everything is soft and smooth. I don't like sand. It's I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating. And it gets everywhere. Not like here, though. Here everything is soft and smooth. I think this is about where we're gonna wrap it up, though, chat. Thank you. We're gonna see who we can raid. Let's see. Who's up right now that could do with a raiding? We're gonna go raid Vakihana. For those of you who don't know, Vakihana is the first person that collabed with me ever. So show him some love. Or we're gonna get set up to show him some love.